All right, welcome to the Major Trouble Podcast, the only podcast made for and by UW students. I'm your host, Alex. I'm here with my co-host,
Trent.
Kyle.
and this is our pilot episode. So welcome to
Yeah.
the Major Trouble Podcast. Pretty much give you a rundown. So we're just three UW students, first years, all doing a Bachelor of Communications and Media. Our idea for this podcast, it was mainly for our DA, so we're looking to this is going to be a digital artifact.
Yeah.
And so we had a few names, we had a few different names, but
Yeah, we were like talking around about it for a while. Like we had
what was it?
What was it? Young, Dumb,
and Broke, which I thought sort of fit uni students, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes
Well, it
sense. Like
fits
all
us.
of that applies to uni students.
Yeah.
But it was a song.
it was a song.
which
plus,
that wasn't too much of an issue.
plus there's also a podcast
that
about
was
college
the issue.
students. So that's the issue.
Yeah. So it was already taken. So we had to think of something else.
So you want to tell us how you came up with Major Trouble?
Yeah. So pretty much we've been contemplating it all day, like trying to think of like all these new names and like nothing, having no luck. So anyway, it's end of the day, go to bed. I'm just like lying there, like I can't get to sleep. I'm just like far out. Like what could our podcast be? Like I might have even drifted off. Like I might be, and I'm dreaming. Like what is our podcast name? And just like all of a sudden it hits me. I'm like, whoa. What if we call it Major Trouble? Because that's like it's a double entendre. I think that's what it's called. It's got the double meaning.
Yeah.
Like as in major for like students doing majors in their subject.
Yeah.
And then also like major, like gigantic. So it's like we're Major Trouble. We're troublesome young lads, and
If you look at
also
us going
Major
down
Trouble.
the street, no one sees us and goes, "Oh, these are some trouble."
Hey, watch
lads."
out, watch
Well,
out,
I
boy,
don't
we got
know.
some trouble.
I think that like yeah. So
we get into some trouble, but
that's the one
Yeah.
meaning, and then there's also Major Trouble with a question mark. So it's like going, "Are you having troubles with your major at uni?" This is a podcast.
it's
about
sort of to help
uni.
out. We're looking for that relatable sort of thing
Yeah.
too.
So anyway, I was just lying in bed sleeping or drifting off, and I'm just like dreaming about like, oh, what could this podcast be called? And it just hits me, Major Trouble. And I just like woke up. I look at the time.
I was up
2
at,
a.m.
I got the text of that group, and I'm like, yes.
I woke up to that.
It
I
was
just woke up
perfect.
2 a.m.
It was
typed
like
in
it was
Major
like
Trouble.
it was meant to be because we were all up at the same time.
Yeah, it was
Trent
crazy.
sends the message, and we're like, boom, done.
That's it. Locked
got
in.
it.
So, bro, you should give him a rundown of how we all met. It's pretty weird for uni how we all met.
Yeah, it is.
I met
Uh,
Trent on the very
Yeah, well,
so-
the way the
But,
group,
like, the
the
group
way the
chat.
group. So what happened? So, being the young teens we are, we all had it was Facebook, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Facebook.
Yeah,
And
it
so
was
there's a UW first year students. There's a lot of messages going around, sort of like, oh, who's doing this course? Who's doing this course? Was it Tori? I think Tori probably said. Who would have sent it? Tori. It would have been Tori.
I
surely.
wasn't added into the group straight away, so
Jess
only-
had you?
Yeah,
I
Jess added me.
think
Right.
I don't think it was actually Tori that
Someone-
originally created
anyway,
the group,
someone
but
made
Tori
it-
was the one that kind of brought
Someone made a
everything
group on Facebook and was like, whoever's in BCM, chuck us a message and we'll add you in the group chat. So we were on a messenger group probably. The original was about 10, 15 of us, 20 maybe at
together.
max.
There was a lot from initial.
But
got up to
no one
80.
talked. There was a
But
few
out
of
of-
us that
yeah.
talked.
It's just the Snapchat group now that's got.
And
like
so then
more
we were
people
like,
that-
oh, this is boring. Let's go to Snapchat because it's a bit easier because we were all on that pretty much 24/7. And so we all get to know each other. And then it comes to O Day. So there we all came in. It was actually quite weird because we like everyone's sort of like, oh, who do I go with? Who's my friend? And then we were just
Gotta
like,
get in the clique.
like we all had this big group that were all like, come on, everyone get seats, and it was kind of cool. So that's
we
sort
took
of
up a whole row.
like a whole row of
like the
seats.
entire. It was intimidating. Like kids would have been students would have been
uni-
sitting there and like just like looking. I'm like, whoa, look at all of them coming through.
I know, I felt kind of bad, but it was kind of good though, because I mean, for me, I'm local, but I was nervous because I can't imagine how you would have felt.
I was actually terrified. I'm like
Yeah,
lucky I have a
Western
friend.
Sydney's
That
up
was
there.
Yeah,
like me.
I had my girlfriends. I was really lucky.
Yeah.
You had Jess at it. Did you go with Jess?
But I didn't know Jess too well until that day because
Right.
she's friends with her mum's.
Yeah.
Friends with my mum. They both work at the same school, and my mum was telling her about that, and they both found
Shy
out that
little,
we're
shy little
studying the whole-
Trent.
Yeah,
Shy
fine. It was the
little-
biggest stitch up. Like, I was like,
Trent.
oh, Trent is really shy. He needs lots of friends. Like, you need to stick with him and like make sure he's safe and like.
That's the
happy.
complete opposite, dude. You're so outgoing. Like
Trent is the
That's what
most
Jess said.
outgoing.
Like, we were catching the train back on the first day, and she was like, I thought you were gonna be like super shy and like timid, and like that's what your mum said you were. I was like, oh, thanks, mum.
Thanks,
Brilliant.
Mum, yeah.
He went home and had a
A
nice
bit of a word with
his
mother.
I
Right.
have brought it up before, but yeah. she was
Yeah. So let's just get straight into it. This is some content. How did we all feel with the first 1-1? So the first thing we all had was 1-1-2, right? 10,
Yeah,
10:30
first lecture.
10:30 Monday last week. Dude, that was weird, eh?
That
We
was
got-
You're like you come in like you've watched all these like movies and like
Yeah, of,
TV
like,
shows
it's, like-
about university, and it's like kids sitting there just silently in a
Yeah.
class, a lecture, taking notes, listening to their professor, and then we walk in, sit down, playing some Raven beats, you know.
Dude,
the professor.
yeah, we walk
There
in. There's
was
some like you know that trippy like meme music come in,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I literally got in there. I was like, I'm at home. Like this is
there
this
was
is my
straight
spot.
some rave music playing, and then you just see this guy walk in, and he's
yeah,
got
Ted.
Ted with his
Big Ted.
Just if you
He's
don't know
Eastern
Ted,
Europe.
imagine Gru.
Imagine Guru.
He
yeah.
literally
He's
once
got
you
the
same
hear him,
accent, yeah.
he's got the exact. You like once you hear. That's the thing. I didn't notice the first thing.
Someone
and then we-
like tweeted it, and like everyone was just like,
on
"It's
Mon-
Gru."
On Monday, I was sitting next to Emily. We name dropping all these names. Shout out to the Hype House, by the way.
Yeah, Hype House. Whoa.
No one gets that, but like our group.
Yeah.
And then Emily's like, he sounds like Gru, and I literally just can't imagine anything else now. It's just like
Yeah.
Gru.
He just from day dot, he looked a bit like Gru, and he had
Can't, yeah.
like he just gave me Gru vibes.
the bold head. Shout out Ted.
Shout out Ted. Ted's a cool guy.
Shout out Ted.
And
Ted,
Even though
if
he's
you're
not-
listening to this, we appreciate you.
Even though he's not
Yeah.
our two. Who's
That's
that
fine.
Who's that two, Sam?
Doug.
Big
Doug.
Doug.
Doug's
Doug.
awesome as well.
Big Doug.
Our
Like,
cheat
everyone
of
in
the day.
BCM
Our
112
two
is sick.
such a good guy.
Yeah.
He's so like I think the best thing for me is that he's very easily to make laugh.
Yes.
Like I need people.
It makes
like
you.
that.
It makes you feel
I
comfortable.
need
Yeah.
people who make me feel
Well, it
secure
gives
and
my
happy.
ego like a big
Yeah.
and I need it all the time. So like just making a joke and him laughing at it gives me like, yeah, I'm a cool guy.
Yeah. No, I like it. But so what do we think of the content right now for 112? Because this is what it. So this is this is pretty much half of our.
Yeah,
thing.
this is like a major works, I suppose, if you're
Yeah,
like
if you're
high school
talking high school
terminology,
stuff, yeah.
So the DA, digital artifacts, which is what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
How good's that? Like we
That's
just
so
get to make a
cool.
podcast,
Dude, it's
and we get
crazy.
marked. Like this is
We get
like,
marked for this. Like,
jeez.
this is 30% of our.
Yeah, it's big.
So the pitch and the actual product, which is this, 30% of our semester, which is nuts. Like high school terms, 30% is like an
Yeah.
an in-class essay.
You'd be panicking if you
and
were
a
having
and a
30%.
presentation. Like, that's
Yeah.
really 30% to be talking to your mates about anything.
Yeah.
And to think about
Pretty
it,
good.
that we probably would have tried doing something like this without it being a DA. Like we would have wanted.
I
to
don't.
do a
I don't.
podcast.
I honestly, I don't think this would have happened if it wasn't for a DA.
Yeah.
I wish it was, but I don't think we would have pushed as hard as it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like we have to do.
Like
this,
we
you
have
know?
to do it.
If it had just been like our own thing, it would have been like pushed to the back of our minds.
Yeah, because
and,
it would have
like, at
been
the back. Like,
it would have been low in the
last.
priorities. List.
Yeah,
It
but
would've
now
been
that's a DA. That's what I find insane. This is a project that we're getting marked on like this, which
I
I think
know.
it's really good because I know that we can do this. Like
Yeah.
it's doing well, but still, I'm talking away. Fuck, I lost my thing.
Oh,
We're
he's
gonna-
done
he's
it.
gone,
He's done
he's
it.
gone.
He's dropped
We'll
it.
cut this bit for a
He's
second.
got a loosey goosey mind.
You want to clap again? Just start.
No, we
it.
don't need to cut. Should try and cut back into
Do you
it.
want to talk about maybe like
We're gonna cut back into where we were, otherwise it's gonna sound weird.
what were we just talking about?
The DA.
DA.
Oh, should we just
I
cut
just
to-
fucking keep going. Off. Oh, past 5 minutes is all good.
So what do we think? I'll just cut to here. So Twitter. So like did you guys find that weird that we're using Twitter
I've
nonstop?
never touched
I-
Twitter before.
yeah, I
Like,
had a
I had
Twitter-
to create an account for this
Yeah.
Right.
class.
I had an account, but I never used it. I got it because
Yeah.
people were saying I'll get Twitter, and I got it.
Yeah.
And
I think actually I might have downloaded Twitter once thinking it was Skype,
Right.
and then
'Cause
I found out and I was like,
what?
Because
I
I
would
would
make that.
Look, they got the
It
same
looks similar.
similar
It's an S
logos.
and a bird. It's fun.
Literally.
No, but so I've been using it for YouTube. So
Yeah.
I've been posting like I think I'm since 2015, 2016. So I was lucky. I knew how to use it, but I was just so surprised.
It's
that
not too hard to use.
It's not too hard. It's literally like an Instagram meets Facebook, I think, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the
That's
thing,
the
the thing,
demographic they're going
pretty
for.
much, yeah. But I found it cool that we could just post memes.
Yeah.
Like
for
he
sure.
he asked us to post memes,
That's
which I find
literally
ins-
another part
I
of
think
the
the-
I
BCM
find that
112.
insane. Yeah,
It's like
me-
Yeah, I
you've
think
got
the
your
fact that we're
DA.
able to do that for most subjects
Yeah.
is that they like want you to do live
Oh,
tweeting. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah.
you're sitting in your lecture and
Like,
people are
and-
just tweeting. Like, people aren't paying attention to what the
No.
professor's saying.
Yeah.
You're
'cause you-
contesting for likes and stuff on
Like,
your
the
Twitter.
other day, they're like, "Oh, whoever gets the most likes of this meme,
Oh my god, that was so bad.
gets a
I'm
ba-
so
gets a
embarrassed by
bowl of
that.
lollies," and Trent just starts typing away the whole time.
I
It's
had
great.
this mad tweet, and I'm like, yes, this one is going to get it. Like, I'm going
And
to win the
it
prize.
did,
and it
didn't
did. It had the most likes.
But then
and then they picked the other person.
Come on, DMS.
I was
I know DMS are listening.
I was like, I messaged them. I'm like, hey, I actually had more likes than this person. What's going on? And I made a huge scene. And then they were like, look, we weren't actually going for likes. It was like total interactions.
But they
and so I
can't
just like
check-
embarrassed myself.
So
publicly.
you would have lost on the retweets, I reckon. Because I reckon who won?
It was that. He's like way ahead of me now. Like I looked at it the other day. And
Yeah.
he had like 30 likes.
Was
something
it
when
the
I was on
baby
26.
with like the Shrek?
No, it was
baby
Shrek. It was Shrek, I think.
No,
Was it?
No, it
it was
was-
green, but it was the baby from Ice Age.
No. It was
What
the
was it?
Sid, not Sid. Monsters Inc. You know, the
Mike
green guy.
Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski, and then it was his face. Like had been changed into like some derp
I
looking
think
face.
I thought it was the
like, and
Mike
it was saying
Wazowski
something
on
like,
the
oh, yeah.
with the baby from Ice Age.
I thought it was. I was said Shrek.
It was
Shrek.
Right. Yeah. No, but it's when he mentioned meme warfare too. It was like in the first lecture. I was like 15 minutes in. He goes meme warfare. And
You
I'm
were
like,
learning about
Everyone was
it.
like,
what?
We're gonna go to the Australian Defence Force and be like, wait, we got a degree
Okay,
in
so
meme
it's,
warfare.
to defeat this guy, we need to use meme warfare. Just send him memes. Another cool thing that I mean, I don't know if you found this is sick. The automatic door.
oh
to walk
no,
into-
dude,
the automatic
you
door.
were like
Bro,
bamboozled by that.
mine, like I've heard it automatic. Like there's the
Yeah, like the ones
sliding
that
doors.
slide open, but it's like this one's
This
an
one-
actual door that just opens.
Like it's
That's
like,
insane.
Like because you saw me. We coming out
Yeah,
of the and
I'd
went
been
to-
here
I went-
before, so I'd seen the
I
door
hadn't
before,
been
and I
here.
was like,
went-
I reacted like you when I first saw it, and we were approaching it. I'm like, well, I wonder how Alex is going to react to this. Like,
Well, I went
let's
into
see.
it completely by myself, and I was like,
yeah.
my mind was blown. Like no joke. Like
hey, your eyes like popped out of your head.
I had your reaction.
Because I'd seen obviously like every shopping center has the sliding doors, but one that comes out like I know it's like the exact same. There's not much different technology, but still, like my mum was like, ugh. If you don't know for other uni students, it's building. So in building 25,
Yeah.
when you walk in the lower doors, so there's upper doors like that's where the tech thing is, but the lower
Yeah.
doors has it all, like, on the left side as you walk in.
It's like where the
It
staircase
swings
is.
open like you're 2 meters from the door. It swings open.
Yeah.
So we sound like little kids talking about this, but I just
Yeah.
just more
Well,
uni style. I don't
it's
know if
just
anyone else.
amazing.
we
I don't know if
kind of
anyone
are
else.
like little kids right now. This
Yeah.
I think this degree in general
it's for little kids.
promotes
It's
like
hard to say little kids.
little
Yeah,
kid
being little
creativity.
kids.
112 is for like, but it's little kids, but it's also for not because there's a lot of really good content in there,
Yeah.
and especially I don't know if we
Like this
I want to get to
podcast.
social media
This podcast.
managing
Like
and
this
that.
podcast.
Yeah, I want to get to social media managing. Like that's perfect. Like the studying of memes and that kind of stuff. Like, that's exactly what I need to know for my stuff.
You
Yeah.
don't know how to make memes.
No,
in
but
warfare.
I reckon it is a bit like
It promotes the when you're like a kid and you're like
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
creative and you want to do things. That's exactly what
exactly.
this is.
It's being creative in that.
Because I think the school system like kind of like kills that. Yeah,
Yes.
they're big debates, boys.
Yeah,
Come
It's
at
just
me,
like
yeah.
restricting like you have to do
Education.
this. Yeah, but talking about being kids and like doing all that stuff, we had a microwave hunt on one of our.
Yeah,
unis.
you said
How good
that.
was that transition?
Bro,
Oh.
You said that. You said that.
I mean, it wasn't that much of a hump, but still, it was
Yeah,
kind of
still.
have to look around for a good microwave.
Yeah, but
but
it was
it's
like
weird how many there are.
it's like building 25 has got like
There's
this
an outdoor one.
area.
There's 2 outdoor
and
ones.
it's like a canteen. You know, you got like the sliding door, like a garage door that comes down. They lock it up at night so no one can use it. But it's like it opens up and you've got a sink. You've got a
2 microwaves.
microwaves,
Boiling
yeah.
water from the tap,
The
which is
trash
cool.
can as well. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean,
the school's in the future, boys.
the campus is
Yeah, far out.
really good. Anyone who wants to go to UOW,
Good
highly
campus.
recommend it. We're only
Lots of trees.
We're only a week in. Like we're just a week
This
in.
is our end of our second week,
Yeah.
basically.
It
And
feels
we're
like we've
already
been here for so
feels
long.
like I've been
we're
here for
already
ages.
promoting the uni.
But see, I've been
Yeah.
to go to this campus since like year 8 because like this is the I think you too, Trent. We've been coming to this campus for everything because it's
Yeah.
our local campus. Whereas Kyle's a bit
exactly.
different. You've got,
I've
what,
got
WSU?
Western Sydney boys.
Up to Western
No,
Sydney.
yeah, the
boys.
21. Shout out to my 2168, my 2170.
Up what's your postcode?
Oh, 2533.
That's
Yeah.
That's not. I'm 2517 and 19. We're just
Alright.
giving away our addresses, but like,
Yeah, well, come
Yeah,
stalk us.
come.
come Kiama boys.
Yeah, Kiama.
Still, it's further 20 suburbs between me and you. Like, it's a half an hour drive,
Yeah, it's a bit.
and for that only be 20 minutes of, 20 postcodes in between. It's kind of weird.
if you can tell, like I have no idea what's going on.
So what are you? 2-3,
I'm 21.
21.
What, just 21 is your
It's
postcode?
21. Like I'm from the 2170, but like I went to school in like
The
68,
6-8. Alright.
which is
Up
like
the
saying
That's
saying
like 6-8 gang.
saying
Go,
68, is like everyone just goes like around school when you're in like West
Right.
Sydney. Everyone goes like, oh yeah, I'm from the 6-8 lads. And
Oh
it's
right,
like-
so it's actually like a thing.
Yeah, it is.
That's
Oh,
like me
no.
saying like when we go, oh, I'm from the Gong. I love saying that
Gong.
when you go to Sydney and you just talk to all these people. It's like,
Oh,
where are you
yeah.
from? Oh, I'm from the Gong.
I'm starting to say
And
that
everyone's
now.
like, what?
Too. I don't even live in the Gong, and I say, "Oh yeah, I'm." Like,
Well,
I come
it's so
from the
easy
Gong.
to say, like, because it's such a nice place too. Like, that's the thing I love about living here, the scenery. Like,
Yeah.
I've never been to the Wollongong. Try and get there. Like where I live, like north, like sort of north, up north. You
More
can,
specific,
Oh,
please.
no.
Whereabouts?
you can go on
addresses,
this.
please.
You can go on this
Yeah.
walk. So you can walk from like up the escarpment. So there's like ladders and crap you can climb, and then there's a 10-minute walk to the beach, which I find insane.
Yeah.
Like a 10-minute walk from the mountains to the beach, which is sick.
Yeah.
I'll keep.
Well, even here, like I stayed at my mate's uni accommodation,
Yeah.
and like I woke up and I was on their couch, and then I went outside in the balcony. You can see like what is it, Mount? The one
Kira,
here?
Kembla, yeah.
Oh, whatever it is, big
One of the
mountain.
mountains.
Mountain
One of the
outside,
mountains,
and it's
yeah.
just like the crack of view. Where normally my view is like a fence in someone's backyard.
That's cool. It's
It's
very
like
to wake up
upgrades.
to,
Yeah.
especially Kiama. Kiama will be
Oh, Kiama's amazing. Man.
very
I love
exposure,
Kiama.
but yeah, Kiama's very nice.
Shall we promote Kiama?
The
Look at
blow
his-
up the blowhole.
Yeah.
That's
What
what
did you
everyone
say-
knows.
Yeah,
What did
that's
you say
literally
about
its icon.
Kiama the other day? That it's like one of the richest areas or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's like an actual stat. Like I had no idea about this. Kiama is the third most expensive in Australia
To live or to buy?
probably to buy. But I don't know. There's like
Well, I mean,
a
Trent
when,
is
when
a
it
post
says
on
to
it.
live, it'd be meaning like
like
food
expenses.
costs.
No, then it would be
expenses.
to buy. Actually maybe.
It might be Kiama.
Trent-
they
Trent
can,
is just-
it's all tourists. They
He's
just
very
price
poshy
it
right
up.
now. Like this
Am
is
I
coming
posh?
very, very poshy. He's like, I didn't even know I was in the rich area.
Man, I'm just like
What?
rich without
I was
even
trying to
knowing.
be humble. Like, I was
I'm
just,
rich. What?
I was just
No
buying
way.
$25 coffees, thinking it was normal.
To be fair though, I am not rich. All right,
I will.
Like-
Okay,
I'm at uni. I have debt.
We all have that.
We all have that.
We all are poor.
We all have
It's
that.
$900 a class, I think, for a semester, which isn't that bad.
875.
yeah.
Like our basic 112 is
Who's
900.
rich now? $900 isn't that bad.
Wait,
right.
yeah,
I mean, in
okay,
terms
Xander.
of like hex stat, like
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we
we're
don't have
so
to-
lucky for hex too.
Yeah, that's very.
Yeah,
very
if we
lucky,
were
very fortunate.
Americans, we would be screwed.
So I'd be screwed in America because they don't have free healthcare. So for me to get an EpiPen,
Oh yeah.
it costs a few $100 at least.
I'm like, talk about that actually. Yeah, Alex's.
The other allergies.
Yeah,
I have some
allergies.
mad stories too.
He's allergic to
Anaphylactic.
everything.
Yeah.
Should we do, have you ever told you guys about Kakadu, the proper story? What happened?
Nah.
Nah,
So,
tell us now.
so if you don't know, it's on my blog, check xander.jw.wordpress.com. Check it out.
Ooh,
Um,
advertising.
Plug in my blog.
Plug it.
I'm looking at my blog's name right
So
now.
what happened is I went on a Duke of Ed Gold trip. So Duke of Edinburgh, like you do sport, service, and skill, and you got
Yeah.
hikes. So we went to the Northern Territory for 2 weeks. We've been just to Catherine, which is really nice. We went on a 5-day hike. So once you're in, you had to come out the same way. Like you had to go in and out. There's no, it's either airlifted out or you walk out, which is kind of scary. So 5 days of food, 5 days of water, that kind of stuff. And so we finished that, and we were just driving through Kakadu, like doing day hikes. And it's our last day. We went to you guys know Arnhem Land, like the Aboriginal land in the Northern Territory.
All right.
You've heard of that?
Sure.
No, I haven't heard
Really?
of it. I haven't heard
Oh,
of
so
it.
it's I'm don't quote me. I think the laws are a little different, it's a little laid back, that kind
It's
of
a
stuff.
bit like
Like
in
protecting Aboriginal rights and that
Yeah,
stuff.
I think so. I don't know how to butcher that, so I might be.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. So we got a guide. We got some Aboriginal guides and a tour guide to take us in there on a bus, and we went up this really nice mountain, had sunset. There's mad photos everywhere. And we just got back. It was like 10 o'clock, like the day before. It was like it was the day before we were driving back to Darwin. And why am I losing track? So we got back and we marinated this chicken, and we were having like burritos for dinner.
Burritos.
And because I never had burritos with cheese, I just expected there to be no cheese on it.
Right.
So I just grab them without thinking and start eating it. And then
And you're anaphylactic to dairy, right?
dairy, nuts, and eggs. So
Dairy,
cheese
nuts,
is like
and
my worst enemy. And so we get there and I'm eating it. And then the head maths teacher's there on holiday. So he comes over and sees us and he's like, hey, what's going on? And then he comes to me and he goes, you're the one with allergies, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah. And then I look down and see cheese on my wrap,
Oh,
and
no.
I'm like, guys, I've just seen cheese. I'm having an allergy. And my mate, who I'm in the tent with, he goes, no, you're not. F off. Like, no, you're not. Like, fuck off. No, you're not.
He's like, no, you're not having allergies.
Legit, that's what he said. He's like, no, you're not. Like, nice joke, Alex.
Stop lying.
So I was kind of memeing it the whole trip, and then I go, no, I'm having an allergy.
Oh yeah, boy
and
who
then,
cried wolf.
and-
Ooh.
yeah, legit, that's what happened. And then he goes, shit. And then he goes, Alex, I have an allergy. Everyone starts stressing. So I have to be calm, because if I'm stressing, imagine everyone else around me. So I'm like, okay.
You're
so
just sitting there
I'm
swelling
sitting
up,
down.
can't breathe.
Legit, that's what I'm doing. And I'm like, grab EpiPen, grab my puffer, grab this, grab that. I get everyone to do it. Sit down, straight in the leg. Like, it's nuts. So that's the EpiPen like in my leg.
Yeah, far out.
So
I wouldn't
10,
be able to do that.
10 seconds. It's a needle, so, but it's
Yeah.
adrenaline.
I'm petrified of needles.
And there's no hospital in Kakadu,
Yeah.
so I have to go to this medical center. And so I'm sitting, and they go in, they call them up, having an allergy, go in there. I lie on this like bed, and they give me another needle. I sit there for a while. They give me a needle shot of adrenaline, so like I have like the drips in my hand. They go straight in there. That is 1.5 times the dose of adrenaline that I usually have. So usually it's 300 milligrams, so it would have been 450 or something, or 450.
Gee.
And so then, but it says that my state says the same, my condition. So then I had to give me another one. So I've ended up having 4 times the 4 EpiPens pretty much to get this allergy gone.
Far out.
And they ended up, they didn't tell me until we left. They had run out of adrenaline, the medical center. So if I relapsed again,
You would have been done.
it would have been a bit worrying. But luckily I didn't. And so then I hop in this forward drive like a Land Cruiser. That's the ambulances I have there.
Oh,
So I hop in a forward drive on this bed in the back.
Oh,
Get
no.
driven to this airstrip. You got low battery, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Get driven to this airstrip and hop in one of those little care flight planes and get flown off into Darwin Hospital for monitoring overnight.
That would have been a really cool experience if you weren't dying.
Yeah,
It was cool, but I've never done it. I never thought about it until now. You know how you had to sit straight up for takeoff?
Yeah.
I was lying down for takeoff.
What's that like?
Dude, you feel like you're going to slip out of the plane because like the plane's like that.
Just
and
out of the window.
The plane's like up, and you're like I had to get strapped down, and then I had to put my foot on this pole in the thing, so I didn't slide out of my thing and hit the back of the plane. It was
Yeah.
nuts. But yeah, I got some really. It's not funny, but it's kind of funny. You know,
It's not funny.
I almost died.
almost died.
Lol.
LOL. But no, it's all right. I mean, it's not bad. Like you think you miss out on a lot of stuff. You don't really miss out on that much, surprisingly. Like obviously, like cake and like
All right.
a lot of most of it's sweet stuff. So like chocolate, cake, pavlova, that's just a few things I miss
So
out
pretty
on.
much what you're saying is having being anaphylactic is pretty much preventing you from becoming obese. Getting over
In a sense, that's what Mum was always thankful for. She's like, "Thank you," because if you had
Thank you for being
like
anaphylactic.
legit, because I'm allowed meat, veggies, that kind of stuff,
all the good stuff.
all the good stuff, bread, that kind of stuff.
Isn't bread dairy though?
No.
that's not. That's
wheat.
That-
my
that-
bad. Sorry.
There are some there's
the-
rolls and stuff that can have milk in it. There's milk bread or something. I don't know.
Milk bread. That does not sound nice.
Yeah, it's local bakery. It's called milk, but that's not milk in it. I'm allowed it. But it's called milk bread.
Oh, it's
You're
weird.
It's really weird.
Fuck anaphylactics. I'm making my milk bread, boys.
But yeah, it's fun. What else should we talk about?
Well, you've talked about your experiences. Anyone else got anything cool to
Anything
add?
cool?
I've got something, but Carl,
anything
if you
this-
don't.
What do you want me to talk about?
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, you
Me?
go, you go,
All right,
you go.
awesome. Well, pretty much today, driving to uni.
Oh,
so I caught
this
the
is
train.
Tori's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Oi.
I caught the train up, but then Tori, who's someone we met, lives in Wollongong. She picked Jess and I up because we both live in Kiama.
Yeah.
From the train station, and we were driving to uni, right? And she had a iced coffee, $2 iced coffee from 7-Eleven, and she just spilt it. It went everywhere all over the car.
That's
So she just
absolutely tragic.
was like, "Look, my house is just here. None of us are going to miss our lectures.
Yeah.
Let's just pop in, and I'll clean up the car, get changed, fix it all up." So we pull up at her house. And just before we go in, she said something really odd. I can't remember her exact
Yeah.
phrasing, but I was like, why would she say that,
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, she's just stopped, turned around and gone, look, just don't worry about the animals, all right? She said something about the animals, and I was
jeez.
like,
Okay.
no, she said, I'm sorry about the animals. I think that's what she said.
Oh, so you're
and
expecting a few dogs.
I was
or,
like, whoa, how many dogs does she have?
Yeah.
Or, what's going on? You know?
Yeah.
And so we walk in, open the door. First thing that greets us is a zebra. There's just
like a zebra,
There's
a proper zebra. Her dad's a hunter apparently. So these are
like
all,
a proper
this is probably
Is it a
pretty,
head or the full zebra?
It's just the head of it, up down to its neck. But it's you open the door and there's just a zebra staring at you, and you're like, whoa, what the hell? And so I've seen that, and I'm like, oh, gee, that's what she was talking about with the animals.
Just
okay.
just the ones.
Okay, yeah, that's all right. That's right. Whatever. Cool. I can fair enough. It's a centerpiece. It's
Yeah.
not too bad. And then we walk around the corner, and there's her living room, and there's got to be at least 5 deer heads,
Far
just
out.
all across the wall. And I was like, what the hell? And Jess and I are just like standing there, like we're flabbergasted. We're just looking at each other, like trying not to crack up. We're just like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. Like, how do you live in this household with so many like?
Imagine if it's in your
stuffed
room and you're like
animals?
sleeping. You
I know, like it's just staring at you. Oh gosh. So and then she came in. Tori came in and she was just like seeing our reactions, going, "Oh my God, just don't go downstairs." And Jess and I were like, "Whoa, what's downstairs?" So we like start going to the staircase, and like you can barely walk down the staircase. There's like heads on like
either side.
yeah, like so it's like a boxed staircase. So it's like you've got 4 different walls for the heads to go on, and there's heads on every wall. And it's like they're like so close to each other, like touching. Like they've just been like packed into this crammed
You're
space.
playing dodge to heads.
Yeah, literally. And we walk downstairs, like far out. There's a lot of heads there, and we get into this like man den, I suppose. And oh my God, the entire like room was just filled with stuffed animals. Like they weren't even hanging off the walls at this point. Like they had like buffaloes. There was like a warthog, just like the full warthog, just like in the middle of the room. It's like, what's going on?
It's like you went to a
yeah,
safari.
that was
but
the
it was just
experience
at
I
Tori's
had.
house.
Legit.
pretty-
Yeah. So now we're gonna start a new sort of section that I want to try and get done every week.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, if you want to add us at Major Trouble Pod on Twitter, or use the hashtag Major Trouble, link us some stuff to talk about, some topics that has happened during the week. So the thing I want to talk about now is the coronavirus. The big thing that everyone's freaking out about.
Every person.
Every person in the world's like, oh no, it coughs once. He's like, you're gonna die.
Do you know though?
That's-
Literally news just now. I found out during my journalism class that coronavirus has been declared a pandemic.
We read
That's
that this
really-
morning as
yeah.
we walked in,
Far out.
which is crazy. The thing is, it's not that bad. Like
not
it's
that
bad.
bad.
It's bad for elderly.
Elderly and young people. all
Apparently,
with a
though,
weak
if
immune
you're
system.
like under a certain age, it doesn't affect you. Like if
It's
you're
just a common
super
cold.
young. Like I
Right.
don't know.
Because the biggest
might
thing
be
that I
misinformation,
mean, I might be wrong, but the biggest thing that I saw is the pneumonia that gets you.
Yeah, but that can happen with any flu.
That can happen with the
So,
flu. It's just because this one brings on pneumonia a lot more.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just much
currently,
stronger.
I've got a cough.
Yeah.
And,
To be
when
fair,
I was-
everyone got sick last
well,
week. Hey?
We all got sick last week. The whole group. Yeah.
I was on a bus this morning,
Everyone
coughing
would've been
my ass
panicked.
off, and this is the reaction from every person. The camera's looking at me. Everyone had their eyes open, staring at me. Every time I coughed, I was getting dirties from every single person on the
Dirties.
bus.
Yeah.
They were just like, "Is this guy going to give me the coronavirus?" And I was like, "I have to be on this all the way to the end of the line." I basically Wollongong is like the second last stop
Yeah.
for this bus, so I'm on there from Campbelltown
All the
to there.
way, and so you're
these
just
people go
coughing.
to go to university too, so they're looking at me like, "This guy's infected. I'm going to get put into quarantine
Yeah.
by like the university."
To be fair though, that's a really good way to get a free seat on the bus. You know.
And it's just.
I didn't
cough
get a
on
free
them,
seat.
Yeah,
though.
you just cough. Everyone clears a path, and you just sit at the back of the bus. You know.
Right, and so with that coronavirus stuff, how are toilet paper?
Oh
What
my
is
gosh,
going on?
I
Panic
don't know.
buying.
I actually
I'm
don't
telling you,
understand.
far out.
But I saw something today with Woolies, right? They said after I can't remember the date, but after Friday or something on Monday next week, they're not going to give refunds to people who bought excessive because everyone's trying to give it
Oh,
back because no
nice.
one needs it.
yeah.
Like they've realized like, oh, I should not have bought it, and Woolies
So
are giving them
stupid.
refunds, and so they're like, after the next week, we're not giving you any refunds, which is kind of funny.
Which could then result in more panic buying or not buying, panic selling because people
Online
are just gonna be
eBay.
like,
Sell.
people
There's
are gonna
so
be
many
like, I don't
big-
want this, take it back, Woolies, and like
Legit.
just get bombarded with products that they've already
I
sold.
was listening to the radio on the way to uni today. Legit, I 98 are doing giveaway. Yeah, they were talking. So we've given away cars, we've given away tickets to movies, we've given away $98,000 to one person. Today we're giving away toilet paper. And it's like, is it really this bad?
Oh my
I actually
God.
saw something that was on my Facebook, and this was a post from Charcoal Chicken, which is
Yeah.
a shop near me, and it's like if you buy a $30 meal, which is a whole chicken, chips, and like some kebab,
the lot, yeah.
yeah, it's like you get a pack of toilet paper, 30 pack,
30 pack.
30 pack.
Oh, I'd do that, 100%. That'll last for
That's pretty
years.
solid. I mean, it's good for the
They'll
people
last
like
you-
who didn't panic buy and then they're just sat there like waiting for more stock to come in. Like they're like
That's what-
stuffed.
That's happened to my stepmom. She was at the shops and she was like, we have enough, but she wants to get some more. And she's in the aisle next to toilet paper and she hears the Woolies guy go, hang on, let me get it out first and I'll give it to you. Boom, she darts straight there, grabs a pack and comes out. Because she was there as they were restocking it. But the weirdest thing is, right, so my girlfriend works at Woolies.
Yeah.
And she was saying they had to restock the toilet, like back when, when it first started, everyone's buying it. They had to restock the toilet paper 3 times in one day. because
That's
of how bad it
ridiculous.
was getting 3
Yeah.
times, and it still was gone.
I think the problem is the people that initially panicked were scared
Yeah.
of the coronavirus, and people are now buying it because they're scared they're just not going to have toilet paper because people are panic buying.
That's it's
Well, but
gone
what?
from
So
one stage to the next.
it's gonna even out now. It should be we should be fine now. I'd say.
Hopefully,
It should
yeah.
hopefully.
Because all the crazies have brought their toilet paper. And
yeah,
they're
all the
stocked
crazies
up.
have got it, and all the normal people will be like, oh, okay, now I can
All
actually
the
get my
golems
stuff.
of the world stocked up on their precious.
Yeah.
Legit.
Well,
pretty-
my family stocks up on toilet paper, but just because when we get it when it's on sale.
Yeah, well, see, we have 6 people in my family, 5 people in my family, and 5 and 6 in each house. So we need a lot of toilet paper. Like we go to the toilet a lot. Like
We do lots of crap.
especially with three boys. Like you know, not even me.
Thanks.
Xander, that's a medical concern if you make that noise. That-
But yeah, no. So we have to. So it's kind of funny that everyone's stressing about it now. But there's been a lot of Italy's on shutdown with the
Yeah.
coronavirus. Like, that's kind of nuts.
yeah. Well, Italy's like genuinely for a country. I'm pretty sure
Well,
it's quite
300,
poor.
400 have died already, and they've had it for about a week.
Yeah. Well,
but I'm not trying to be stereotypical. Italy's a lot of old people.
yeah. It is
like
it
a
is
lot
an
of old-
age.
it's
Wow.
population.
It's like if it becomes in
Wow.
Australia, like we're an aging population, so we have a lot of old people.
Yeah, we do.
So not like it's worrying if it gets to our country because
I mean, there
But I don't
are
think
cases. in
the only
Australia.
2 cases of death. I know one of them's a 95-year-old lady in a home.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of I'm not gonna say it's expected, but like if there's a stereotype of people gonna die, it'd be them.
I saw this news article and it panicked me because it's the one that announced that it's become a pandemic.
Yeah,
But it's got this like image here showing all the places where coronavirus has spread to. And on Australia, it's literally got these big blops all over New South Wales. And it's just like, yo,
yeah.
I thought we were all right.
Well, that's
What's
just
going on?
well, that's where the biggest population is. You got Melbourne. For the people who can't say it, you've got Melbourne, you've got Sydney, you got Brisbane, and I think a small one in Perth.
There's some in Tasmania, some in, there's Melbourne, and
and Adelaide.
Perth.
So there's,
Darwin, I
there's
think. Is that
Brisbane.
Darwin at the top.
Yep. So can I have a look at it?
If it gets to Tasmania, they're screwed.
Yeah, because there's nowhere.
The's nowhere to go, and plus everyone's
Yeah.
like
So what
everyone's
it is-
together.
Yeah.
So there's
And
Darwin,
related.
there's Brisbane, the
And
biggest
Bangor.
one's in Sydney, there's Melbourne. I want to say Hobart, but it looks a bit north for Hobart. There's Adelaide and there's Perth, which is the biggest cities in Australia. They're all the capital cities in Australia except Canberra.
Yeah.
So like of
Canberra
cour-
would be bad because Canberra is very old. Like that's an old people
That's
state.
all the politicians. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's old.
Scott Morrison gets coronavirus.
Big ScoMo.
You see what?
Speaking of like politicians getting like coronavirus, did you hear in India like this? I think I don't know, like the person in power. I'm not sure if it's the president or
Prime
the
Minister,
Parliament or whatever.
yeah.
they're
the leader of T Series.
called. Yeah. So the person was doing like a media like kind of report. I don't know. Like he was just talking to the media about the coronavirus and like any updates they had, and he was like, oh yeah, we've got it under control, it's all good,
Yeah.
no need to worry. And the very next day, like he's at this interview thing, he's been
Yeah.
coughing everywhere, he's shaking people's hands, and the very next day it's announced he had
Oh
coronavirus.
no.
Yeah.
That's
That's the thing about it. It spreads like that.
Yeah.
I shake your hand, boom, you've got
No.
it. Like that's what like. Yeah, 'cause
I've been coughing in this room, so I might have COVID.
we've all got it.
Brilliant.
So,
Yeah.
sick.
But
Well,
at least
actually,
we're
we
gonna
all got
be,
sick. Hey, like, well, no, I'm not sure if we all did, but our whole group area.
You and me
got
got
sick.
sick at the same
I
time.
got sick. I was
But see,
sick
I was-
from
were you
Tuesday
coughing?
to Sunday.
Were you coughing?
really.
I was sniffly. That's what
Yeah.
I was like.
I just
cold.
had vertigo.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I was
had.
just like,
well,
"Whoa."
I was sick before I went to this university. Well,
Yeah.
I've been sick for a very long time, but I get sick for like. I won't get sick a lot in a year, but I'll get sick for like 4 weeks.
Yeah,
It's really bad.
I get you. No, because the thing is it's the coughing that's the biggest thing. So if you're coughing, then that's where sniffling and sneezing's fine, but it's the coughing and the respiratory issues
Yeah.
is the biggest thing.
You're scaring me, Xander.
Yeah, so
scaring me.
watch out, especially on the bus.
Stop.
The bus is the worst place to do it because everyone's infected
Yeah,
there.
Okay.
you can't like
Okay.
Same with the
There's no safe
train,
spot.
trains and bus, public,
just public
transport.
transport. Yeah.
Just drive your car everywhere. No,
Okay. Like I'm not. I don't even have my P's.
yeah. Anyway, I think that's where we'll wrap it up, boys. We're getting a
Yeah.
little bit. So we hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. If you did, click the like button, follow us.
Keep up
probably-
to date with our
yeah,
podcast.
Follow us on
Keep
Twitter
watching.
at Major Trouble Pod.
Mhm.
That's where we'll be most active, sort of retweeting sort of news articles, definitely about the coronavirus because we want to try and keep everyone
Yeah.
updated. And we'll just be talking to each other. Follow our personals too. There'll be linked in the bio. All of our personal Twitters. You can see sort of what we're doing in uni, that kind of stuff. YouTube too. It'll definitely be up on YouTube.
It'll be on all our blogs as well.
Yeah, it'll be on our blogs.
All our blogs.
SoundCloud will be on to Spotify. I'll have to work it out, but hopefully on Spotify and Apple
Yeah.
Music. But definitely look at YouTube and look at SoundCloud at the moment. Anything you guys want to tweet at us, hashtag Major Trouble. If there's some news articles that you want to talk to us about, topics that you think that's happening at the uni, stuff that we want to talk about, either DM us on Twitter or
Major
use
Trouble.
the hashtag Major Trouble on Twitter, and we'll talk to you guys from there. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you all next week.
I'm really tempted to do a Morgs impression.
Latest, no, please don't. All right.
Bye.